Hello, beautiful people of the world. It is I, Ronnie, and I am back with another video, and it is my labor and delivery video. So, this video is probably going to be a long one, but I'll try to keep it short. So, my labor started with Sebastian via induction. I was induced with Seb because throughout my pregnancy, I was a high-risk patient because I had high blood pressure. It was higher. I think it was roughly always in the 130s over. It was roughly always 130 over 80 over in the States, but over here they have this gel that they put on your cervix. So they would do a sweep to see how dilated you are and everything. And when I went in, I got checked and I got my first dose of gel at noon on the 24th. And I think I was 1 centimeter. So I had the gel, and you're supposed to wait 6 hours, and what the gel is supposed to do is it is supposed to help thin the cervix and also help it dilate. So then you can kind of have it a little bit more natural than starting shit with the Pitocin. They kind of want you to walk around, do squats, and kind of get into it with a little bit of medical help. So 6 hours went by. I can't remember. This is where everything starts getting foggy. I can't remember if I got my second dose that night and had my water broke on the 22nd, or if I had it on the 23rd. But I think it was the morning of the 23rd, I think it was between 7 and 9, because I remember at 3 o'clock going to the nurse's station saying, I was supposed to get checked at 10. I'm super uncomfortable. I just remember being so uncomfortable, and at that point, I think I was at 2 centimeters, so I wasn't really dilated. I was just starting to get uncomfortable. It was still very early stages of labor. I remember going to the nurse's station and saying, hey, I need to be checked. And I was supposed to get checked at 10, and the lady said, hey, there's not enough beds in the ward, and they will come and check you and try to get you further along in your labor once there's enough beds, because once you're actually in active labor, or if you're starting the drip like I ended up doing, they put you in your own room. So the actual birthing process, you are in your own room, but the pre-bit and the post-bit, you're in a room with 5 other ladies. So I ended up getting my water broken by the midwives at 2 centimeters. I walked around a bit more, and on the 23rd, I went in my own room, and at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I started Pitocin. And, let me tell you, Pitocin, what it does is they create artificial contractions to make the cervix thin and dilate. So it goes from me not feeling, and I went from not feeling any contractions at all, feeling nothing but just discomfort, to feeling every single thing. I could feel the hairs growing on my arm, kind of. You could feel everything. And try to go into having labor by itself without the drip, because once you go on the drip, it's vaginal or emergency C-section only. And I didn't, like, I wanted to have a vaginal birth, but I wanted to have a water birth. And for those of you who don't know, a water birth is basically sitting in a jacuzzi full of water and doing it that way. And I wanted to do it that way because I've read about it, and I was doing a lot of research, and that's what I wanted to do. And so I was like dead set on it. So going in to the OR, being put on the table, and you know, it kind of disheartens you because you're being told your body can't do the basic of things, which is give birth. And it sucks. It breaks your heart when you think that your body is capable of doing such a simple thing that women's bodies are supposed to do. But you have to be drugged up, cut open, and have your baby be taken out that way. Absolutely kills you because you seem like it doesn't help with how they word it, because they tell you you failed to dilate. So with being told that your body failed to do the basic of tasks, absolutely kills you. And it doesn't help that the lady that was doing my C-section, she is a very short lady. She's about 4'10", 5 foot, but she's the kindest little lady. But when you have a C-section, they have a curtain up, so then you can't see them cutting you open and taking your intestines out. But she was that short that when she lifted Sebastian up so then I can see him, I couldn't see him. And when I had the epidural or spinal letter, the numbing drug that numbs you from your boobs down, I laid down, and after 37 hours of being uncomfortable, I kind of closed my eyes and I was able to be like, because my body was just so achy that it didn't help, because I had to have an oxygen mask because Chris said I was passing out, which I wasn't. But from what Chris told me, Seb somehow wrapped his umbilical cord 3 times around his body, and he wasn't breathing right away. So she lifted him up, they cut the umbilical cord, they clamped it, cut it, and then took him over, had to unwrap him and do a little bit of a CPR on him to make him cry. And now I couldn't see this. All I saw and heard was the commotion of him. And I knew that when she lifted, because she said, I heard her say that she's going to take him out, and it felt like it was 10 minutes, but I think it was only like a minute or 2, but it felt like 10. Until I heard him scream and cry. But they cleaned him up. They had Chris cut his umbilical cord, and Chris finally brought him over to me after like 20 minutes, and he was holding him, and I was able to look at him, but then he set him back down while I was getting closed, and I didn't get to hold Seb until Seb was at least an hour old. And this is the other bit that absolutely kills me, is the first person that held my son wasn't me. Some random person held my little boy before I did, and it hurts. And the first 3 minutes of the baby's life, the first 3 months of his life, you can literally, if you know me personally, you can ask all of my in-laws and Chris. I constantly had Seb with me. If the only time that I put Seb down is when I had to pee, I was changing him, I was making him a bottle, or I was showering. So there's only 4 occasions I would ever put Seb down when I didn't have him attached to me in some way. So the reason I was doing that is because I didn't feel like I bonded with him. I felt like I was just a surrogate for my husband, that I was just some lady that he paid to carry the baby, and that I was the full-time nanny for him, for Seb, and that what I said didn't matter. Yeah, that's my labor and delivery. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry for crying in bits of it, but it is a very emotional topic for me. I only recently have felt comfortable talking about it in the past month, just because I feel like it was just too sensitive of a topic for me to talk about. But this is my video for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.